There's a lot of ways to kill the sales efforts in an organization. I'm going to look at 3 ways that would do it every single time. Number 1, the failure of an organization to establish a proper hiring and selection process. In order for an organization to be successful in their sales efforts, they've got to bring the right people who fit the culture of the organization and put them in the right positions. Conversely, they have to be managed by people who know how to manage them. You can't just rely on surface level interviews. You have to look beneath the surface and define the very culture of your organization. I've seen organizations who have never sat down and asked this question. What is absolutely critical for success in a particular position, especially a sales position? Is the sales position going to be one where the majority of the time is spent in business development? Or is it going to be spent servicing existing customers? Maybe it's a combination of both. What is critical to the success of the position? What are the key traits that an individual must possess? Does it require someone who's got self-starting ability, personal accountability, resiliency? Maybe it's conceptual thinking. Maybe you're dealing with more complex decision makers, so you need someone who can put all the pieces of the puzzle together, and they've got the ability to think through and provide proper solutions. Sales, in a lot of cases, is a flexible position. Things happen out there on the street. You need someone who can adapt. Whatever it is, the question is, have you defined it? Do you know what you're looking for? Or are you going back to what a lot of organizations do, and they're looking for maybe someone who's got 5 years of sales experience? Well, listen, if the person with 5 years of sales experience was doing a great job, why would they be looking at your organization? They're probably making a lot of money where they're at. Now, in some cases, this may be a better opportunity for them. But do you even know, is your position going to be a commission-driven position where, 60, 70% of the compensation is based on performance? Well, if that's the case, you best hire somebody who's motivated by money. What if you hire somebody who says, well, money's not all that important to me. I think money's evil. I just want to do a good job, be a great team player. But I'm not going to do any more than I have to for $60,000 a year. Yet you need a salesperson who wants to make $200,000, $300,000 a year. Just think about it. Proper hiring and selection process and techniques and procedures. Number 2, bureaucratic hierarchies. Your salespeople have to have the ability to have the appropriate authority when they're out there on the street in front of prospects and customers. I've seen too many organizations where a salesperson is put in a situation, the prospect and the customer maybe they've created a demand or they've asked for a certain term, and the salesperson looks at that prospect and customer when they're ready to buy and says, I'm going to have to get back with you. I've got to check with my sales manager. And the sales manager may have to go to the CFO or the COO. There's going to be a hierarchical structure just to get approval for 1 or 2 small minor terms. Ask yourself this. When you go to buy a car and the salesperson says, let me go check with my sales manager, and they play that little game, how do you feel? Your prospects and customers feel the same way. Those salespeople need the authority equal to their responsibility, the authority to make something happen. Because you know what ultimately is happening? The prospect and customer are saying, well, if you don't have the authority right now to make a decision, what happens when I have delivery or service issues? Am I going to have to wait 4 days to get the approval to get help on something? I'm going to go to a competitor who doesn't take that long. Just remember that. If you say you're about customer service, deliver on that. Give your salespeople the right authority. Number 3, and this is probably the most critical, the failure to provide consistent training. Everybody gets complacent. Everybody needs refresher courses. Development of salespeople and sales managers is a process, not an event. It doesn't just happen when they first come on board. It's got to be continuous. It's got to be reinforced. And it needs to happen every single month, in many cases, all the time, year after year. And I've seen too many organizations who have never trained their sales managers. They're just letting sales managers manage the way that those people sold. They manage ineffectively. They don't understand how to motivate their team. They don't know how to communicate effectively. They don't even know how to work with each individual on the basis that's important, because every person on their team responds differently to certain management styles. This is all critical, and your salespeople need to be trained as well. Thank you for taking the time to view this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it, and I want to say happy selling. Until next time.